Okay, so good evening, everybody. It is Sunday evening. It is just gone 9 o'clock. My name is Paul Gillingham, and I'm part of a company called Direct Sellers, which is a premium wine club that has been around for 4 years. The company is exactly the same as anything that we've got over here, basically. So it's the same as your virgin wines, your Laithwaites, your naked wines. Over in the States, they've got a New York wine club, and they've got a few other ones over there. So it's exactly the same as a wine club. But in April of last year, they decided to put a compensation plan to it and see where it took them. So for those that want to know the history of the company, it has been a wine club for 4 years, but it's been involved in network marketing since April of last year. For those that have been on a call before, I'm going to slightly change the way that we run things this evening. I'm going to start off talking more about, I mentioned the company, but go into the customer side of things, the customer gathering, and a bit more of a soft approach. And then for those that are interested in looking at this as a business opportunity, then we'll follow on from that. So, as I said at the beginning, my name is Paul Gillingham. I'm based out of a small town in Sussex called Crawley, about 10 minutes from Gatwick Airport. My background is fitness, so I do not do this full time. And the reason that I say that on every call that I do is that I don't want people to think that you've got to spend all your time in front of a computer or all your time building a network, because at the end of the day, if you're good at what you do, you can do it in the time that you've got. You know, I'm not one of these people that like sitting in front of a computer all day long. I'm a very active person. I like training my clients. I like running my boot camps. I start a new job a week on Monday in a gym as well. So, you know, I love being on my feet, and how people can sit in front of a computer is beyond me, but that is my own personal preference. So, you know, I'm not attacking anyone that's got an office job, or anyone that does do this on a full-time basis. And the other thing that I wanted to mention is that I'm not a seasoned networker. And again, the reason that I say this is because I don't want you listening to me talk tonight and thinking that I've done this for years. I haven't. You know, I got introduced to network marketing in 2013 by a client that moved away, and she told me about a company that was going to launch in the UK. And it sat perfectly with who I am as a fitness professional. So I looked into this particular company. I liked what I saw. And to cut a long story short with this bit, I helped my family lose weight. I helped a client of mine lose 10 stone in 9 months. I improved the health of a lot of people. And I built an organisation over about 1,000 people and managed to walk away from a full-time job within 12 months. So that's my story, my background as such. Right now, as I said, I'm working full time. I run boot camps 3 nights a week. I train football clubs twice a week. And I build my business in the evenings, at weekends, and in any spare time that I've got. So, as I said, Direct Sellers is a premium wine club. It's not your $2.99 bottle of Lambrini that you're going to go and find down the shop. It's not your, get 2 bottles for £6 jobby. This is good quality wine. So it's more about the whole wine tasting than getting bladdered on a glass of wine, even though I know that Ben's going to be going into the early hours and ploughing through as much wine as he can tonight. So the wine is premium. It's on average, it's about $15 a bottle at the moment. And it originates from the States. The UK has got a launch coming very, very soon in the next 2 months. I still haven't got a date yet, but I am pushing the CEO for a date, because once we've got that date, then we can go hell for leather. We can go crazy with it. So the reason or the way that I come about this company, I was sitting in my front room where I'm sitting now, and it didn't look like this when I had this conversation. Our front room looked awful when we'd done this. But I was sitting in my front room just before Christmas, actually drinking a glass of wine. Excuse me. And a lady that I worked with in a previous company we started talking and having a conversation, and she put a message that basically went along the lines of, like, excuse the random question, but do you like wine? And I thought that she was, standing outside the window. Whether Tara had put CCTV footage in the front room and she was looking from somewhere, because I actually had a glass of wine in my hand, so it freaked me out a little bit, to be honest. But I went back to her and said, yeah, of course I do. I love my wine. Why? What's going on? So we got on the phone, and she talked to me about direct sellers. She talked to me about this business opportunity where the company had only just launched, where she had pretty much only just got in herself. I think she'd been in about a month. It was coming to the UK, and that sold it for me. As soon as I knew it was MLM, as soon as I knew the product was wine, as soon as I knew that it was coming to the UK, and as soon as I knew that a guy called Jefferson Green, who is a leader, I think he's top 5 income earner with the company, was involved with this, that was it. It ticked all the boxes for me. So I didn't get on a Zoom call like this. I didn't watch any videos. I didn't attend any meetings. For me, it was in. I saw the opportunity. I wanted to grab it with both hands, and that was it. Head down and see where I could go with this. So, as I said, I've been in, I think it was something like the 12th or the 13th of December that I joined, and I didn't do anything over Christmas. I'm always one of these people that I like to relax over Christmas, like fitness. From a fitness point of view, no one really wants to have a personal training session over Christmas, and if they do, that they're pretty stupid. I tell people to take time out, to go and enjoy time with their families, and eat, drink, and be merry, as they say. So I didn't really get stuck into it until the January. In that month of January, I managed to hit the top of the compensation plan with this, and it's something that I've never done before in any previous company. But on the flip side of that, it's something that I don't shout about massively, because even though to get one person into a network marketing company is a massive deal, and I totally get that, to get someone to part with their money, to get involved in an opportunity that they may or may not have done before is a big opportunity. But to hit the top of the compensation plan with this particular company, you need 9 personal people. So it's not a volume-based business yet, but right now, 9 personal people that like drinking wine, that see an opportunity, that can see that this has got leverage and has got legs on it, and want to have some fun with this, then you've reached the top of the compensation plan. So the first way that you can get involved with direct sellers is to become a customer. There's 2 different packages that you can come on. The first one is going to cost you $49. That gets you 2 bottles of premium wine. The second option is $79, and that will give you 4 bottles of premium wine. Now, the wine's not currently being shipped to the UK, however, commissions are. And I'm going to talk about the business opportunity in a minute. So for those that are looking at just becoming a customer, the wine's not yet here. So, give us a couple of months, go back to the person that's invited you onto this call. They'll be able to get you set up, and they'll be able to get the wine shipped out for you. But at the moment, as I said, the wine is not actually being shipped to the UK, however, commissions are. Now, with regards to becoming a customer, if you've got 3 friends or family members that like the wine, that wasn't fussed about the business and didn't really want to make any money with it, but just wanted to get the wine, they then get their wine for free the following month. So it's that free program. You refer 3 friends, family, colleagues, or even enemies with this one, and your wine is free for the forthcoming month. You can choose if you get 4 bottles, you get 2 red, 2 white, or a mixture of both. They use wine from over 2,000 distribution centres or 2,000 wineries around the world. So you look at some of the big countries that distribute wine. South America, you've got Argentina. Argentina is in South America, but Chile, you've got Australia, South Africa, New Zealand, France, Portugal. All these wines, and I can assure you that they're good quality wines. I was out in Vegas, I think 3 weeks ago now, for the official launch of the company, where 3,000 or 4,000 people were there in the Hard Rock Hotel, and we got to try, as I said, 28 different wines that the company uses, and they're very, very good quality wines. I've got a list of the wines that we tried. So if anyone is having conversations with people that would like to know what some of the wines are, then I'm more than happy to distribute that out to the guys who can then forward that down into the teams. So from a customer point of view, that is how it works. It's a refer 3, and the following month your wine is free. Now, from a business point of view, again, there's 2 different kits. There's 2 different packs to come in on. Again, these are in dollars because I haven't got the pounds yet. But the first kit is $249.95. That gets you 4 bottles of premium wine. That gets you a year's license to trade, your back office, all your tools, access to the wine whisperer, any audios, any visuals, basically anything that you need to build a successful business. And you also get 20% off future wines going forward. So if you've got a wedding coming up and you want to supply your own wine, if you've got a big party coming up, if you've got a gathering, you can get 20% off all future wines going forward. The second kit that we use is $499.95. For that, it gives you 12 bottles of premium wine, it gets you 3 years license, and it gets you 40% off future wine. So for double the price, you get triple the benefits in terms of the wines and the license, and you get double the price of your future wines going forward. So they're the 2 packs that are available at the moment. Again, I'm just going to reiterate that we're not yet shipping wine. So if you've got a contact, a family member, a colleague, someone that you know that's in the States that likes their wine, hook up with them, ask them if you can send them wine for free. Then you've got yourselves a really hot lead. And I'd like to take credit for that idea, but Raz and Ben and the guys have all come up with that themselves. And you know, they've got family members over there, they've got friends over there that are now receiving good quality wine. Within that wine, there is an educational program as well. So for those of you that are on the phone that, you know, see this more as a business opportunity and see it more than just wine, and want to look into the educational program with regards to what wines you're actually getting, every bottle of wine that you get comes with tasting notes. It talks about the country that it originates from. It talks about what flavours are in the wine, the best type of foods that you can have with those particular wines. So as I said, this is not just a business opportunity or a wine club, it's both together. And I was on a call previously and spoke to one of the guys on the call about this guy called Jerry Greenfield, who he's a director of wine for direct sellers, but he's a master of wine. He's known as the wine whisperer. So again, for those that are into their wines, they may or may not have heard of Jerry Greenfield. Go onto YouTube, enter his name in. There's loads of videos in the back office as well that it gives you some really interesting and very powerful tips on the wine that you're drinking. And every Wednesday he does a recording on SoundCloud that you can go onto as well. So he's part of the team. Another big plus point for those of you looking at this, I know we've got a real mixed bag on the call tonight. I know we've got some seasoned networkers, and we've also got some people that have never done networking before. But for those of you like seasoned networkers out there, we've partnered up with a guy called Kevin Thompson, who he's the world's #1 attorney for MLM. So with regards to compliance, he is the best in the business. There's nothing that, you know, he doesn't see. And one thing that he mentioned in Vegas was the fact that he loved the fact that the 4 founders, who I'll talk about in a minute, they're not these guys that go to him and say, well, how can we get around this? What do you think about doing this instead of this? Will we get away with missing out this to get to this? He said that they're straight talking. They know exactly what they need to do. And he's confident that this will become a multi-billion-dollar company because of, 1, the product, and 2, the founders. So going on to the founders, you've got four incredible guys who are, you know, they're so watertight, but they're so individual. And what I mean by that is they've all got their own strengths, which they play to massively, but they all sing exactly from the same song sheet. So, you know, I look at that. I look at the founders. I look at the Kevin Thompson. I look at the Jerry Greenfield. I look at the leadership. There's, Jefferson Green. A guy that brought him in was a guy called Austin Zuloff, who is a documented 7-figure income earner. A guy above him is a guy called Matt Morrow, who again, who again is a documented leader within this industry. So, they're attracting some very big profile players. I got introduced to a couple of 7-figure income earners in Vegas. And those two were excited about the UK launch more than I was excited about talking to a couple of millionaires. And everyone sees the vision with this. Everyone sees exactly what it is. And the simple conversation is either, do you drink wine? Do you like wine? Or when was the last time you enjoyed a nice glass of premium wine? So, that is basically what direct sellers is. I'm going to touch on the compensation plan now. Then what I'm going to do is end part 1 of the talk, and then we'll move into part 2. But for those of you that are on the call that would like to make a little bit of income with this, or would like to take it to another level, they do a 50% fast start bonus with this. And it's, again, I've only been in the industry for 4 years, but I've spoken to a lot of people that have been in a hell of a lot longer. And I've never seen a company that gives you 50% fast start bonus. So every single person that you bring into this company, you get 50% of what they've registered with. So if you bring someone in on a 249 kit, you get $125. If you bring someone in on a 499 kit, you get $250. Now, one powerful thing with this is the fact that in other companies, you've got to be at the top plan to gain any revenue from people that come in on the top plan. So what I mean by that is that Ben could come in on a $250 kit. He could sign Andy up on a 499 kit. Ben would then get $250 back. So this is powerful. You could come in on a $249 kit. You could have business owners, entrepreneurs, 6-figure income earners in your network who all want to come in on a 499 kit. So if you bring those 4 people in on a 499 kit, you've invested $250, but you've got 4 times $250 back. So it's a very, very powerful compensation plan. And before I go into the next bit, I know a guy posted a video recently that got a lot of attention. So, Andy, I'm going to unmute you, mate, and I'm going to let you, share your story, share your excitement, share your vision. So, Andy, can you hear me, mate?
Yeah, I can, Paul. Thanks, mate. Yes, there's quite a few people on this call that know me, quite a few people that don't. So for the ones that don't, my name's Andy Roberts, live in Wakefield, and I've been involved in network marketing for about 5 years now. And I never saw myself really moving into anything else until I was introduced to this opportunity. And what I really wanted to do is just explain the 4 key reasons as to why, because that might resonate with some people. And it just might give you an inkling into why I've seen what I've seen and why it's excited me massively. So the first thing is just the simplicity of the system. And what that creates with the simplicity is just the time element as well. In the majority of other network marketing companies, you need to invest a lot of time into people. You need to coach people so that they understand what the systems are, the products, how you work the business, how you use mindset. All of these different kinds of things can take a lot of time, and you're not always guaranteed to get a result from the person. With this, you don't need coach people. People drink wine. People can talk to people easily about wine. And so that time investment, that was really critical for me, because the job that I do full-time doesn't allow me to spend the time coaching people on a full-time basis. The second thing, as I've just touched on, is the ease of the initial conversation. It's a product that when you speak to people, they're automatically comfortable with it. There's no stigma attached to wine. It's just an easy opener. You can have the conversation absolutely anywhere. In the other companies that I've been involved with, that conversation wasn't as easy to have, and people weren't as receptive to listening to the idea. The third thing, really critical for me, was the compensation plan. As Paul mentioned, I have looked in depth into this and I've studied it massively. this was the key thing for me, why I chose to get involved in this business. People, when they get involved and they're making some kind of investment, whether it's a small one or a large one, the first thing they want to know is, how quickly can I get the money back and what do I need to do to achieve it? I can easily say to someone, you come in with an investment on this at the moment in the UK of $249, you introduce 2 people, you've got your money back. That's the simplicity of it. Anything after that, you're creating pure profit. When people see that, again, it's a simple conversation to have. You tell people that if they want to really run with it and bring 10 people in, that's $1,250 they're going to get back and make $1,000 profit, plus the commissions that are going to be generated from those people that they're bringing into the business. There's multiple payment streams that are within this binary system. For those that don't know what a binary system is, I'm happy to have a conversation with anybody about that. But it's just the low investment as well, $249, £212. You've got the opportunity to recoup that within 1 week because it's paid on a weekly basis are the commissions and the payments. The final thing for me, because of the binary system, the opportunity to be in this from pretty much day one when we launched in the UK, that was too big for me to pass over. I signed up on Friday and I've already got 2 people in my organisation that I haven't sponsored. They've been placed in my team because the way that a binary system works. So even if you're thinking, I don't know a lot of people, I'm not very good at getting other people involved, the way that a binary system works means that when you start building a left and a right team, people get placed within your organisation who will generate you some form of income. It was just, I look at all those 4 things combined, the simplicity of it, the time element, the rewards that are available, and just how you can connect with people and interact with people, that just made it too easy for me to say yes. So Paul, that's why I got involved. That's why I see absolutely huge things happening for this team, because there's the right people driving it forward. It's the right opportunity, but more importantly, it's just the right time.
Brilliant. Thanks, Ben. Thanks, Andy. Really appreciate that, buddy. So, yeah, I mean, I get excited by talking about this because two years ago, I had a picture or a vision that, as I said at the beginning of the call, that if ever a network marketing company came around and the product was wine, it would blow my mind. And that's what's happening. You know, every single day, I can't remember the last time I woke up in the morning and I checked my emails and I didn't have an email that said, congratulations, your organisation is growing. I honestly can't remember. Now, the figures I'm about to tell you, again, they're not there to impress you at all, but I've personally enrolled, I think it's 15 people with this, you know, not a massive number, but I've personally enrolled 15 people with this. I've now got a team of over 130 people. And that's touching back on what Andy just said. Most of those people in this team, I don't know. Before this time last week, I was in Barcelona on my stag weekend. I'd never spoken to Andy. I'd never spoken to Ben. I think I'd spoken to Anthony 1 or 2 times, and the rest of the guys are fairly new, and most of you I've never met before. So this is the power of network marketing, and in particular, this is the power of a binary program, is the fact that you can work with people that you haven't got a clue who they are. You know, we go fast forward 5 years with this when we are in Europe and potentially in Australia. And, you know, we've got master sellers popping in Australia all over the place. And you wake up and you've got a team of people that are in Australia. You know, it's crazy to think that where this could go and what could happen with it. So, you know, whether your goal, whether your ambition with this is to make, say, £200 a month. Let's look at £200 a month, where you're a young mum that £200 a month would pay for a new pair of school shoes for your kids, or you could take them to, I don't know, Disney on Ice at Christmas. I don't know, or, you know, look at it in a long-term basis. You could, that £200 a month, you put in a bank account, you leave in the bank account until Christmas. That's £2,400, where your Christmas is completely paid off. Your kids' birthdays are completely paid off. You haven't got to get a loan or a credit card anymore that you've got to pay off for the next 6 to 12 months afterwards to go and do it all again the following year. £500 a month, how would that benefit you? You know, £1,000 a month would mean the majority of people can pay their mortgage off every month. These are the kind of like life-changing figures. It's not all about six-figure income earners. It's not all about the big checks and the fancy houses and the holidays. You know, not everyone wants that, but by default and by the way that the compensation plan's set up and the power of the product with this, even if your initial goal was to make £200 a month, in 12 months' time, what's to say that you're not earning £5,000 a month by doing this? It is frightening where this can go. So, you know, with that being said, what I'm going to do now is, for those that wanted to jump on the call and just look at this from a customer point of view, I appreciate your time. I appreciate you coming on. I hope that's given you some confidence, and I hope that's answered some of the questions that you may have had in your head regarding becoming a customer and about getting the wine. Any questions that you've got further forward, go back to the person that brought you onto this call, and you know, if they can't answer it, then I'll be happy to answer it. So from a customer point of view, we're not shipping the wine yet, but there's 2 kits that you can get. $49 will get you 2 bottles of premium wine. $79 will get you 4 bottles of premium wine. You refer 3 people and your wine going forward is free. So as I said, with that being said, those that are on from a customer point of view, have a lovely evening, enjoy the week. If there's any other help that I can give you going forward, then I will do. But as I said, repeating again, go back to the person that you invited you onto this call in the next half an hour or so, and any questions they can answer it. Because what we'll do now is we'll talk a little bit more about the business. I'll open it up into like a bit of a Q&A, and Andy, Ben, Raz, if you guys want to jump in, help me out with some questions and answers, then that would be great. So we'll go into a little bit more depth then. We'll go into a little bit more detail about the business opportunity and where this can go. So Andy, what I'll do is I'll unmute you, mate. I will unmute the Tash. I'll unmute. Is Raz even on?
He's there.
Where is he? Oh, there he is.
The Tash.
Guys, do you want to say anything? Because I know, like, is anyone else that I should unmute before we can continue?
Yeah, I just thanks for that, Paul. Yeah, I was just tapping up on the what you said earlier about, and he said about the simplicity. But what really got me was the mentorship on the how super sharp the people like Jefferson and Austin are, and they've got your back on everything that you're going to do, and they just want to help you. And the simplicity of this is so going to be duplicatable and key, and just really going to have a good go at this. And the conversations that I've been having over these last 3 days since I've joined, it's just been so sort of simpler compared to what I've been used to, and not getting no objections whatsoever, which is great. And like I said, I got my investment back within an hour. So and just it was just the fact that I could tell my friends about it. They can get jumped on with us right at the beginning, and they says, right, yeah, brilliant, we'll go with it as well. And they've been having conversations. People's not even been involved in networking before, and they've already got people joined up in their team as well. So it's just the simplicity of it, like Andy says, what's really exciting, and really looking forward to this journey and having a few good old sort of wine tasting evenings and having a good culture with it and socialising, and that's what I'm personally all about, and a lot of my friends. So I can see this is going to be a lot of good fun and a good check as well, just being me probably as well, and that's what I like about it.
Yeah, brilliant. I mean, I know we've had some really good conversations, and I know you brought in 3 people this afternoon. So these 3 guys, along with the others, have worked me tirelessly this week. I was, you know, I tend to close down about 10:30, 11 because I'm up at 5 every morning. Well, this week we've got off of calls at 10 o'clock, and then from about 10:30 till gone midnight most nights. It's phone calls and messages and Zoom calls, but you know, it's what I love doing. I always enjoy helping people. I always want to make people better themselves, and you know, I'm not like stupid enough to think that I am, you know, the most influential person on this call. Far from it. There's plenty of people on this call that have been more successful than what I am. But this is a company where you can take someone from being a nobody to being a hero. You can take someone that has never done networking to being, you know, a six-figure income earner. So, as I said, the company is very new. You know, again, I'm going to repeat some of the things that Andy said. The company's really new. The comp plan is extremely powerful. And for those that know Andy personally, you'll know how in-depth he is when it comes to compensation plans. So any questions that anyone's got regarding comp plans, he's probably the go-to guy. I know that if I've got questions that I can't answer myself, then I'll be going to him. So what I'm going to do, Ben, did you want to say anything before we continue regarding not the Tash, the business?
I'd like to compliment the Tash, of course, mate, as always. The thing that really excites me about this is I've been in a couple of other businesses where I've done home events, and I've done shake parties. I've done, what are you doing drinking beer on this call, mate? I've done shake parties. I've done coffee mixers. I've even done skin parties. And I know for a fact, if I went to a group of 50 of my friends and said, I'm having a coffee party on Wednesday evening, and I know for a fact if I went to that same group of 50 friends and said I'm having a a wine party on Thursday evening, I know where the most numbers would come. And that's why when Anthony spoke to me about this first, I just got mega excited. I'm partial to a social anyway. I mean, we were in a nutrition company before, and we loved a social alongside of that as much as we could. So to be in a wine company and be able to have socials and introduce people to potentially get the wine free and make some money, it just makes a massive load of sense to me. On top of that, I'm fortunate enough to be working with some absolute legend of blokes. Obviously, I've known Andy a long time. I've known Raz since I've been in networking. We've got Dave Leon, Alex Varnels. There's numerous other people. I don't want to miss anybody. Paul, I've only known you a short time. And we've struck up a good relationship already. And I just think with this kind of business, it gives us opportunity to have some real fun. You know, we don't have to be too serious about it, because at the end of the day, we are talking about alcohol. So there's never going to be too much seriousness attached to the business. And on the back of that, I think it's so easy for other people to have conversations. And I think Andy touched on it before, where he said, you don't have to coach anybody, you don't have to teach anybody about the product or any of that nonsense. If it's wine, you know what I mean? If people like wine and like socials, they're going to be interested in this. I could go and talk to 10 people tomorrow and talk about shakes, skincare, coffee, whatever it might be. A lot of them will just roll their eyes at me. But if I talk about booze, it's the British culture, and a lot of people are going to be attracted to this. And also, I'm not sure if Andy mentioned it before, but less than 100 people in the UK currently involved with this business. I joined my first company, there were 40,000 people involved, and I went on to make substantial income from that. We're in something where there's less than 100 people involved. So that is mega exciting for me. I don't think I've got anything else to say. Lucy's asked a question here. I don't know if you want to answer that, Andy. It looks like the compensation plan, so I'll pass it back over to you, mate.
Yeah, I'll try and explain it briefly, because it really can get confusing. So in terms of how the compensation plan works, we spoke about the 50% fast start bonus that you get when you sign someone up directly to you. How the binary system works, you build two teams. You build a left team, you build a right team. You get paid, once you've got a left and a right team, you get paid an override commission on the weakest leg. So either the left leg or the right leg. And that commission is anywhere between 6 and 20%. You start on 6% when you've got 2 people that you've personally signed. Every subsequent person that you sign up generates you an additional 2% until you reach a maximum of 9 people, which gives you the 20% commission on that leg. Infinity. As deep as you possibly can get that leg, you're getting 20% of it. There are also other ways that you can earn money as well. Anybody that you personally sponsor, you're going to get 10% of any volume that they generate, 10% commission, and that goes down 9 levels deep to 1% on the 9th leg. And then there's a final one, which is a cash match bonus, which is based upon the top 4 levels within your organisation. This is why I didn't want to go too in depth, because it can be confusing. But what I'm trying to say is you get paid multiple ways on different angles of your business. I hope that explains it to some extent, Lucy and Guck.
Thanks, mate. Right, what I'm going to do now then, because that is pretty much the presentation, or that is, as much information as I feel that I needed to cover. So what I'll do is I'll unmute the lines now. This could be chaotic because there's 31 people on the line, but if anyone's got any questions for myself, or if anyone's got any questions that they want to ask Ben, Raz, Andy, then feel free to. So the lines are now all unmuted, so stop watching your soaps and turn off your radios. And so, right, so has anyone got any questions, or are we all happy?
Can I just make a quick point, guys, before anybody starts asking questions? We have got, there's 2 fantastic compensation plan explanations on YouTube link, which we can send across to anybody that wants to see that. They last about 15 minutes and they're absolutely fantastic. It explains it very simply, so you can understand exactly how you get paid. So I'm guessing we've got 31 people on here who are really interested in making money. So I would recommend having a look at them compensation plans where you've got a visual, so you can see it explained and drawn out for you. And they are great. I'm pretty dumb, and I understood it superbly. So they are very easy to understand.
Kate's asked the question regarding if people leave the business, you lose the percentage and start from 0 again. Kate, as an example, from what I believe, if you've got 9 people that you've personally sponsored and you're at that 20% commission, say 2 people become active, then you'll lose their 2%, so you drop down to 16%. When you re-sign another 2 people, it takes it back up. So I guess the answer to the question is sign 20, 30, 40 people up, then you're constantly at 20.
Great, thanks, Andy.
The thing is with this is, for those that are left on the call now, I'm presuming that most of you guys have done networking before. So 9 is not a big number. And people have said to me, like, what do I do when I get my 9? Do I stop? And what happens is, because you've then got that success story, and because you've then reached the top of the compensation plan, and because people know that you've reached the top of the compensation plan, people then start asking you what you're doing. I know, like Crystal, the lady that I helped go master seller, she had something like, 8 messages the night that people found out that she'd hit the top of the comp plan. She's now signing up more people for her than she's having to go and find other people. So, this is, every single person on planet Earth knows more than 9 people that drink wine. That's the way that I look at it. So there's no reason why everyone can't become a master seller with this business.
Andy, are you there?
Yeah.
Paul Hardwick here. I've not been into networking at all, to be honest, and I was introduced to this by Raz. Just a quick question. If, for example, you sign these 9 people with a compensation package and you get the half of their cut, if you like, so half of $249, $125, and that I take it that goes into like a pot or like a slush fund or like your own personal account, if you like. When can you start taking that money out, or is it in for a certain amount of time, or does that make sense?
Yeah, it makes sense. Paul's going I only joined Friday, so Paul's going to be the best one to answer that question.
Yeah, so the business week works from Thursday to Wednesday, and the following Friday you get you get to draw on the money that's in the account. Now, what we need to do, and again, I'll do like a separate call, or what I'm probably easier going to do is I've got a script where it's a step-by-step guide, because you need to set up, it's called an e-wallet. I think it's through a company called iPay, but what they do is transfer the money from a vault in the back office into the e-wallet, then you can transfer into your back office. I've not touched any of my money yet. I'm keeping it in there because we're getting married in 50 5 days, I think it is. But I know a few of the guys have drawn out their money. They've drawn on it. There's been no complications, no problems whatsoever. So I'll get that out to the guys, which they can filter it down into the teams. But yeah, the business works from a Thursday night to Thursday midnight, Wednesday midnight, and you get paid the following Friday on what you've done in that production week.
Thank you.
Paul, do you know the answer to the question that Lucy's asked regarding is there a reason why the wine's available and not shown on the website?
I don't know. I don't know whether it's because there's too many. And if you've got like thousands of bottles of wine and you get to the first 2 pages and you pick a bottle of wine and there's a good quality wine on the last page and no one goes to it, I don't know. I will, that is a question that I have asked before and I will ask again. Every month, again, I didn't say this in the presentation, but every month you'll get different wines. And they do that because they want people to have an experience of the wines that they're tasting and to experience from wines from all parts of the world. However, if you get a wine that you don't like, you can contact customer services and they'll change it. If at the same time, if you get a wine that you really do enjoy, you can request to have that wine again. So I will... Lucy, I will go back to Jeff. I will go to the CEO, actually. I'll probably go straight to the CEO and ask him why there's not one. And again, Andy, I'll come. Is Lucy one of yours, Andy?
Yeah.
I'll come back to you, and then you can filter that down into your team.
Yeah. Someone's asked if it doesn't tell the name. Can someone post the YouTube link? If whoever's invited you on the call, just ask them and they'll send it directly to you.
Has anyone got any further questions tonight? This call has been recorded as well, so what I'll do is, after it's finished, I'll get it uploaded. I'll post it in the WhatsApp group, and again, we can feed it down to those of you that want a recording. And for those that couldn't get on the call tonight but are interested in knowing more information.
Paul, do you just want to quickly explain to everyone if the customer comes in for 2 or 3 months of the customer and the advantage of them, why they may become a member?
Yeah, great point. Yeah, great point. So again, this may be new to a lot of people, but if you've got a customer that comes in, let's say Raz decides to become a customer of mine. He signs tonight and becomes a customer. He goes into that binary. So he's got a position in that binary. The following day, I recruit Andy. Andy comes into that binary system and he goes underneath Raz. Andy goes out and recruits 50 people. They're all underneath Raz, who is still only a customer. 2 months down the line, Raz comes to me and he says, "Do you know what? I've enjoyed tasting the wine, but my mate Andy's making a ton of money with this, and all he's doing is the same thing as me. I want to become a promoter. I want to become a distributor." Raz then decides to upgrade from a customer to a distributor, and he's got all of those people in his downline. Yes, they're all on one side, but as long as you build and as long as you've got one personal in your left and one personal in your right, you're then known as dual team qualified, which means you can then go on and get paid. If you've got 50 people on one leg, as long as you've got one person in that side, you can then go and shove everyone into that other leg. And that's what happened with me at the beginning. My upline has got a team in the UK and she's got a team in the US. So her US team is running away with itself. When I started, I think I had something like 13 or 14 people in my one side as opposed to 1 or 2 in the other side. So that was a great point and one that I missed out that I should have thought of. But if you've got customers in this, keep in contact with your customers. One, from a retention point of view, and at current, today, the retention rate is 94%, because if you're getting your wine for free, then why would you cancel it? And if you're drinking your wine, then you obviously want more. So there's a 94% retention rate on this one. So as a customer, there's a real opportunity to again to get in to take a position when the wine's launched, and then further down the line you've got like a huge organisation that potentially has already been built for you. So thanks for that, Raz.
Just as well on sort of what would it be an advantage why to get more than 3 customers as well then, Paul?
Yeah, again, just like you would never stop with 9 promoters, you'd never stop with 3 customers, because from a customer point of view, you can go out and you can get 15, 20, 25 customers, but as a customer, you're still only going to get your wine for free. However, all of those 20, 25 people are in your binary. So as the promoter of this customer who has gone out and got customers, you've now got potentially 20 to 25 people that at a later date could upgrade, and you will earn commissions and you will earn DC dollars, which you can use for future wine orders off of every single customer and every single customer's customers that comes into the business.
Lads, can I just butt in?
Yep.
I just want to show people, I mean, we've got a couple of people dropped out now, which is fine, but what I want to do is I want to show people why it benefits to get in this business sooner rather than later. Have you got a problem with me doing a screen share, Paul?
No, go for it, mate.
Yeah, so I'm just going to show you my binary structure now and benefit you. If you're seriously considering this business, I'm going to show you why it'll benefit you to get in sooner rather than later. So can you see my screen share now, boys?
Yeah.
Can you see it?
Yeah.
Right, so if you look at obviously at the top there, we've got me and Claire there, and then my left team, my personally first sponsored was Hadley, and my personally sponsored right first person was Lee Thompson. Now what I've gone and done is I've sponsored another 1, 2, 3, 4. I've sponsored 6 people in total, so 4 more people that I've sponsored. They have to go underneath my first 2 people. So let's look at Lee Thompson on my right, for example. Because I've sponsored 2 more people, they've gone directly underneath him. Liam Harris and Eamon O'Carroll have gone on his left and his right. Now, when Lee Thompson becomes dual team qualified, he finds his 2 personally sponsored people. He's going to benefit from the production of those 2 people as well. So I hope that makes sense to you. Now, what's going to happen now is anybody else who I bring into my business over the next few days, they're either going to fit on Donna Hadley's right-hand side by side with Andy Roberts, or they're going to come underneath Eamon O'Carroll, Liam Harris, Louise O'Donnell. So this is how this works. Louise O'Donnell's nothing to do with me. I've never met her. But if I put somebody on my left side of my business now, her or Dave Lee are going to benefit from that person that I put underneath them, and anything that develops underneath that person as well. Once she becomes dual team qualified, she will financially benefit from what happens underneath her from people that I've placed in there. So that's the power of a binary system. And the cool thing about a binary as well is it pays you infinity deep. It pays you infinity deep, so there's no limit on that. So that is the most exciting part of this compensation plan for me, on top of sponsoring people in and getting half of that investment in commissions. That's obviously very powerful. But the binary system itself is absolutely unbelievable, and it also encourages everybody to help each other from a business point of view as well. So, for example, Andy's obviously got a couple of people beneath him now who are nothing to do with him personally, but it's within Andy's interest to go and help them people, particularly once he becomes dual team qualified, because he's going to benefit financially from what them people produce as well. So the compensation plan is absolutely unbelievable in terms of financial reward. It encourages people that have absolutely nothing to do with each other to go out and help each other. So it's the best compensation plan I've seen. I've been doing this for 5 or 6 years now, and I've not seen nothing like this. And the fact that it's wine, and people are always going to come to your house for a taste of wine and a tipple and a social. And the way I see this being built is having social events, bringing your friends round, letting them try the wine, telling them about the customer program. You get you introduce 3 people, you get your wine for free. That alone is going to be very powerful. But when you start talking about the business side as well, people are just going to be keen to give it a crack, in my opinion.
You know, I see a vision of as well, Ben, not just with going on from the house parties. It's also, if you have certain amount of your team, or certain amount, say you have maybe 10 or 20 different distributors in one area, there's nothing stopping them clubbing together and maybe doing a huge sort of like hotel wine tasting evening, so you can get your friends there, your guests there as well, to make a big old sort of great evening with a lot of people. I think that would be really, really powerful. And then finish it off with maybe like a karaoke night, for example. So you can just pick and choose whichever way you want to do your social. And I think that, again, will be really, really powerful to get more and more numbers, which will then attract even more and more again. Is that how they've been doing it in States, Paul, a little bit, haven't they?
Yeah, they've just got it right. I think as a company, they've just got it so right. And they started. I went to a wine tasting event in London in January, and you know, I've been to other company events as such. You know, you invite 20 people and you get 3 people there. And I turned up, and there was olives, and there was cheese and crackers, and there was meatballs. The way they do it is that you get to,
I thought he was awake, but
try all sorts of.
Talking about his big toe.
You get to try all sorts of different wines, and you know they give you 2 bottles of red or two red, 2 white, and you get to mark it out of 5. And at the end of it, they ask you which your favourite is. From there, they give you a full glass of wine that you can enjoy. Then someone talks about the business for 10 minutes max, really. From there, we played a few games just to get everyone in the mood and to have a laugh and a joke. Then they served some more food. Then they asked people if they wanted another glass of wine. So in the States, it's going crazy. I mean, there was an event in Philadelphia about a month or so ago now, and a lot of the leaders flew out there because there's a big team in Philadelphia. And I think over the 2 nights, there was over 300 people at these wine parties. And you know, people invite 50 and they get 100. People invite 10 and they get 40. People invite 6 and they get 20. It's the only company really that I've ever seen where more people turn up than it's been invited, and it's wine. It really is like a crazy business opportunity, but one that I'm so grateful that's come my way, because even if you don't drink wine, my upline doesn't drink wine. You know, first of all, she said no to this. But then she had to think about it, and she knew that 95% of the population does drink wine. So, you know, you don't have to drink wine to be successful in this business. The creator of Pedigree Chum doesn't eat dog food, but yet he is a multimillionaire. You know, a person that invented a tool, you know, it's just crazy. So you don't have to drink wine to become successful with this. If you understand the opportunity, if you get your head around the compensation plan, if you understand the way that this business works, and you realise how many people in this country alone now drink wine, then it really will be a business that is harder to fail than it is to succeed. So, it's crazy. So unless you've got any further questions, I will, a couple more minutes. Has anyone got any other questions?
Well, I've got no questions, but I'm going to shoot off, mate, because I've got I've got a couple of guys that want to speak a bit more in depth about in terms of joining the business and stuff like that. So if anybody else wants to have a discussion about that, you boys let me know, and we'll set up another Zoom call after this, because the time is really out now anyway.
Perfect.
Yeah.
With that being said, then I'll bring the call to a close. Again, I appreciate everybody getting on tonight. I appreciate you taking the time to jump on. Please go back to the person that you invited you onto this call with any questions that you've got. I'll get the recording into the WhatsApp group. I'll get the recording out to the guys, and they can feed it down. So, guys, enjoy the rest of your evening. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. And I'll touch base with you soon. Enjoy your wine. Cheers, guys.